As you can see, I'm in my very serious outfit because this is a very serious video. I'm gonna piss off a lot of people, so I just thought if I dress up like this, nobody can really get angry at me. At least that's my reasoning behind it. I just kind of want to dress up like this. Might get a World War II officer's hat as well with a smiley face on it. But high quality ones are pretty damn expensive, and I can't monetize this channel, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to afford it. A while ago, I defended indie games. You can watch that video there if you want. Now I'm going to explain why they are the worst thing ever. Like, these things don't have to be mutually exclusive, but people rightfully shit on the AAA market, as they should. But the indie scene tends to get a lot of free passes for doing almost the exact same shit. So let's take a look at some of the things that I personally have an issue with. Alright, I'm going to be focusing on three main things here. There's going to be the people who make the games, the platforms that the games are sold on, and then the games themselves. I think it's in that order, of worst to best. So first of all, the people who make the games. Right now, due to the pure nature of the indie dev scene, like, if you ever fucked around in Game Maker and finished something, you're an indie developer, but we're not going to argue semantics. I'm talking about people who are either hobbyists, who've released a few games, or they do it as a job. Now, and again, this is also a very wide variety of people, but some of them are the absolute worst. When their game inevitably sells like shit because it's bad, they 100% of them will start the usual bullshit about how gamers are racist, misogynistic, sexist, etc., etc. They didn't buy my game because it had this in it. They didn't buy my game because it had that in it. No, they didn't buy your game because it was shit. Yeah, but they can't accept that because they're surrounded by like-minded pieces of shit who think they're the greatest thing in the universe. And when that isn't reflected in their sales, they throw an absolute tantrum. The whole world's against them. Like, no, the whole world isn't against you. You're just a shit developer. The second are the asset flippers, the con artists, the liars, etc., etc. You know, just the shady bullshit that you normally have to cover up and hide in the AAA development scene. These indie devs just do it all of the time. Like, what was the name of that company who started a fucking internet war against that human embodiment of Reddit, Jim Sterling? Digital Homicide, I think it was. But yeah, they're a great example of these rats that I'm talking about. Other notable examples are Peter Molyneux. Not sure if there's any relation to Stefan Molyneux, but I wouldn't be surprised. Hello Games, the company that made No Man's Sky. And Level 5 Concept, the developer behind the catastrophic, infamous failure, Mighty Number 9. Now that's the rule of three done. See, I finally finished it this time. Let's talk about the people who publish the games. Let's talk about the various DRMs that are indie-friendly, and let's talk about their faults. First and most obvious one is Steam, owned by Valve. Now, what's the problem with Steam, boys and girls? All together now. 1, it's oversaturated. 2, there's absolutely no quality control. And 3, the trading cards make it advantageous to just shit out as many games as possible, rather than focus on quality. It's like, I don't know the word, but it's really bad. It's complicated and hypocritical. The market rewards publishers and developers who oversaturate the market, making it worse. I don't know how it's gone on for this long without any serious reforms, but it seems to somehow work. I don't know how. I'm not an economics expert. If I was, I probably wouldn't be a libertarian. The second one is Game Jolt. Game Jolt is essentially Steam if it existed in the fucking South Park universe. Okay, everything good about Steam and everything bad is amplified to fucking 11 million. They're the only two I can really think of. I'm not sure of any other platforms that are indie-friendly in the sense that those two are. Epic Game Store likes to buy exclusivity, but for every indie game that sells out to a EGS, there are 100 more that weren't even considered, let alone feeling like they'd accept. Now let's get to the juicy bit. The games. How can you hate indie games, Phalis? They're so amazing. They're the best thing ever. Are they really? Like, are they seriously the best thing ever? This is my first point. They're not necessarily bad, but they're so overhyped. They're bad in comparison to how good everyone says they are. They're pure fandom bait. Like, the way they're designed, like, it's not about having a fun experience. It's about giving you something to talk about on the internet. It's less about having fun with engaging mechanics or cool story, and more about just adding random shit for MatPat to talk about. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's worth $10, sometimes even $20. I make that monthly on Patreon. If you think I'm going to waste it on this fucking bullshit, you've got another thing coming, Sonny Jim. And on the rare occasion that they are actually enjoyable to play, they are way too short. Like, and I know short experiences, blah, 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 cost per hour is evil, capitalist bullshit and whatever. Thank you, Jim Sterling, extra credits, whatever other moron wants to be a mouthpiece for corporations. If a game's really fun, and I mean really, really good, and it only lasts 4 or 5 hours, I feel sad. I want it to last longer. That's why I've recently latched on to long Western RPGs that have a lot of content that I can engage with, because if I find one I like, I will legit put many, many hours into it. And, you know, get my money's worth. I don't have as much as you. Like, I can't just buy 20 experimental experiences every month that only last like half an hour each. Like, that might be fine for you, but it's not fine for me, because I can't afford that shit. And you call yourself against corporatism and all this shit, but you support things like cost per hour being hidden. Oh, no, I'm getting off topic. I've already made a video about this. Go and watch it. It was a while ago, before I was as eloquent and charismatic as I am now. But I think it's a pretty fun watch. But yeah, they're my main thoughts about indie games. Developers are far more likely to be arseholes. The DRM that you usually used to distribute them is usually oversaturated. And the games are either shit or way too short. At least that's what I think. And I get that I'm biased because I am very consumerist. But what do you think? Did you disagree with anything I said? Yeah? Well, then you can fuck off. I'm kidding, of course. But if you disagree, please tell me what you think and why I'm wrong, because I like having my mind changed about these things. If I can become the ultimate enlightened being, the ultimate gamer, then I can take over the world. Also, PS4 fanboys mad, PS4 fanboys mad! Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to PC. Not Red Dead Redemption 1, though, strangely. Not that it matters, because we can emulate that fucker now! It's such a terrible time to be a deluded console peasant. The Emperor's wearing no clothes. And everyone can see his willy. Special thanks to Stolen Dragoon, Ori Main, Baby Kitschy, all of my other patrons, and all of you for watching. Not as big of a cloud as I want. Never mind. Can I get this video to 9 minutes? No. No, I can't.